Hello, everyone. Today is a 2020 election prediction as of September 1st, 2020. Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. The RNC is done. The DNC is done. Joe Biden has picked Kamala Harris to be his VP nominee. Now, let's see how I think all of these will affect the Electoral College. Now, as of September 1st, we are 2 months away from the 2020 national general election, where we could decide if we will elect a new president or if we will re-elect Donald Trump as president of the United States. So, to start off, before I even make any states, I do think that the last few weeks have helped Trump out. I think that the RNC was better than the DNC. It doesn't mean that it was as good as it could have been, but it was better than the DNC. I think they did have the advantage of going last, and I think that the RNC will give Trump a small boost. The DNC did not give Biden a poll boost, and Biden picking Kamala Harris did not really give Biden a poll boost. I do think the RNC will with Trump, and I think we're starting to see that. But as the more polls come out over the past few days, it'll be more common. Anyway, let's finally start with our safe states. Pretty much the usual safe states. Maybe I'll add like one or two new ones. Okay, here we go. I do think Missouri's safe. No, not South Carolina. Actually, not Missouri, but Indiana is a safe state for Trump, giving him 95 safe electoral votes. Joe Biden is going to get ahead of Trump now, though. California, Hawaii, New York, Vermont, and obviously all of these northeastern states. I do not see Delaware being a safe state for Biden at the moment, but he's already at 115. Now, likely Trump states are Missouri, South Carolina, Ohio. New poll with Morning Consult. Trump +5 in Ohio. I do think that he's going to even gain in that lead. Probably win by around 10 points this election. And Iowa is also likely. Actually, I'm not going to make Ohio yet. Ohio, maybe 5 to 10 points. Iowa is a little bit better for Trump than Ohio. And not Nebraska. What am I doing? Maine's 2nd congressional district. I think we all knew what I was going to do there. Oh, and I completely forgot Utah. What's wrong with me? See, I'm having serious issues today. Anyway, likely states for Joe Biden is Washington, Illinois, Rhode Island, and Delaware. All likely states for Joe Biden. I do see Biden winning Oregon, Connecticut, and New Jersey, probably from anywhere from like 7 to 10 points. Hillary won them by around that. I think she won like these by 12 points. I do think it'll narrow up a little bit. They are trending Republican, which is why I'm not having them as likely down. Still will go to Joe Biden, just not as solid as a lot of the other northeastern states. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot West Virginia. See, oh my gosh, I am having serious issues right now. All right, lean Republican states are Texas. There's obviously a few polls that came out. Trump +7, Trump +8. I think that he'll win by around 3 to 5 points. Definitely a drop from 9 points in 2016. Definitely trending blue, but it will still stay in Trump's column. He definitely needs Texas if he wants to win this election, and it will. Same with Georgia and Ohio. All lean Trump in my mind. And as a matter of fact, North Carolina at this moment is also a lean Trump. Georgia, Trump will win by around 3 to 5 points. Same with Texas. And Ohio, he'll win by a little bit more, maybe 5 to 7 points. Maybe a little bit more even than that, but not likely for Ohio. And with North Carolina, I see it being a 3 to 4 range, similar to how Trump won in 2016. If you look at the polls, it is starting to go back into Trump's favor. Biden was up for a while in that state, but like I said for my first prediction, I see that there is a slightly larger proportion of Republicans and Democrats. I think that on top of that, Republicans are going to have greater turnout than Joe Biden. Than Joe Biden. I don't think Joe Biden brings out as much enthusiasm as the Democrats would like. And I don't think that Kamala Harris really does that either. As much as you call her a charismatic candidate, I just don't think she does that either, which is reflected on the polls after Joe Biden announced his VP candidate. They didn't really change, and they kind of actually went toward Trump a little bit. And I keep forgetting things. Maine's first is also likely. But So 219 for Trump right now. And I'm also going to say Nebraska 2nd Congressional District. Trump won by 3. He'll win by similar margins in 2020. Now, lean Democrat states is Oregon, New Jersey, Connecticut, Virginia, New Mexico, Colorado, all lean Biden states. 3 of them, Oregon, New Jersey, and Connecticut, are all trending right, while New Mexico, Colorado, and Virginia are all trending left. But they'll meet around the same spot this election. Maybe Virginia, Biden could win by 6 or 7, but in Connecticut and New Jersey, Biden will win by 9 or 10. And same with Colorado and New Mexico. So now, the lead is narrowing. Tilt Republican is going to be Florida. Florida will tilt to Donald Trump's side. I'm pretty confident that the polls that are going to come out in the next few days will have Florida a lot closer than people expected right now. It has been narrowing up. Biden's now +3 in the polls. A few weeks ago, he was plus like 6. So, and I do think it's going to narrow up even more, especially the first debate is September 29th. Both candidates said that they would be doing the debate, and we're going to see what happens. And I think that'll also affect the Florida turnout. And I think the RNC also helped tilt Florida in Trump's favor. I've had Trump tilting Florida for a while now, but that's what I see at the moment. Now, tilt blue state is Maine at large. Actually, I'll keep that a lean because the polls right now in that state don't look good for Trump, so I'll make that lean. But tilt blue will be Nevada. I think that it's going to narrow up more, but it'll still say in Biden's column. Clinton won that by around 2 points. It could narrow up from probably like 1 to 2 points, maybe 0.5 to 2 points. That's my margin right now that I see in Nevada, but we'll have to wait and see. Also, and I'm going to switch back and forth. Excuse me. Minnesota is also going to tilt blue. Clinton won that by 1.5. It could stay in that range or get a little bit narrower, especially with, excuse me, all of the, like, I know this is in Wisconsin, but similar regions with all of the rioting, protests, whatever you want to call it. If you look at the polls and people's thoughts on it, most people don't really like the rioting or whatever you want to call it, and think that they should protest, I guess, peacefully, to be as, to say it like that. Anyway, we'll get to tilt states. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Trump will win the election in my mind. Excuse me. For the Rust Belt, it's really weird. It's really weird when predicting it because, in my mind, aside from Minnesota, when you include Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, if one state goes, all of the states are going to go, in my mind, especially this election, which is kind of what happened in 2016. Minnesota was just out of the blue. Like, no one expected Minnesota to be within 2 points, 1.5 points. I mean, that was crazy. Clinton was up like 10 points in the polls or something. So no one expected that, which was a surprise. And they all shifted, right? So if one's going to shift right, I think they're all going to shift right. And if one's going to stay in the blue column, I think they're all going to stay blue, which is why I do have Trump edging out Michigan this election, or this prediction at least for now. I do have Trump edging out Michigan. There was a poll, a Trafalgar poll, with Trump +2 in Michigan. I wouldn't say that I have much faith that poll's accurate. They do, if you actually look at the previous, in 2016, they did predict the Rust Belt pretty accurately with their poll. So, I mean, if you want to use that as a reference point, but Trafalgar does, in their poll, kind of account for like people that are kind of like scared to tell who they support for. And maybe that works because it did work in the Rust Belt, but I just wouldn't say that I have as much confidence in it. But I do think that Trump will take this Rust Belt. I think he will hold on to it, and I think that he needs to hold on to this for the election. And then for Democrat, Biden will tilt Arizona still, giving him 239, and then there's New Hampshire, and I see that tilting to Trump. Trump has just held a rally there. It looks like he's aiming for that state. He thinks he can win it. The polls are not looking that good for Trump in New Hampshire right now, but we actually haven't had that many recent polls in New Hampshire. Um, and if you look at the turnout in the primaries, Joe Biden actually lost the state of New Hampshire, and Trump got higher turnout than any incumbent candidate in recent history, in any of the primaries, and especially in Iowa and New Hampshire. And I think that he'll edge out the win. There'll be more enthusiasm for Trump, and he'll edge it out. I think that Biden is going to have less enthusiasm, and I don't think people are going to be as like, oh, I can't wait to mail my ballot. I just don't think that. And I think Trump supporters are more like, I guess, Democrats or the Joe Biden supporters. Obviously, more, they want to mail in their ballots, they want to stay at home. While Trump kind of talks about going out, just going out in public and taking chances. So I think that more Republicans will come out to the polls in New Hampshire, but that's up to see. That's kind of like my wild card prediction. And I guess the Rust Belt is a bit of a wild card, but I do see it going to Trump. So 299 to 239 as of September 1st, 2020. This is how the map is going to look in my mind. So it's actually looking pretty similar to 2016 with like 3 states flipping or like 2 states. So um, not much of a change. I do think the RNC will help Trump, and we'll see that in the polls. And we go through. I forgot Illinois. I'm having serious brain issues today. And that's the new electoral map. 299, 239. Trump wins the election against Joe Biden. There have been times in the past where it's going to flip back and forth, so there'll probably be a time in the future where I have Joe Biden winning. But as of now, Trump is in the advantage right now, and I do see him winning this election. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos. I really appreciate it. And more predictions. I love making the predictions, and I love you guys watching. And if you disagree, please feel free to explain why in the comments, and I'll do my best to give you my reasoning behind why I made that decision. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a great day.